welcome. You're watching NewsX and I'm Megha Sharma. There is a shocking incident of brutality that has come to light in West Bengal, and in this video that we are going to put on your screen right now, we've had to blur those images because that video is graphic, and there is a couple who is being brutally beaten up. They have been whipped, they have been punched by a mob in a small village in West Bengal. Their crime was they were in love and were allegedly in an illicit relationship. In this case, the so-called mob justice, the local villagers held a kangaroo court and justified what they did, and what they did was morally wrong. And as punishment, these villagers thrashed the couple, whipped them, punched them. This is unacceptable. What is worse is there is a local MLA belonging to the TMC calling it a Muslim Rashtra, saying the cause of this act that was committed was because of the villagers who did not accept this love relationship that these two people were in. There have been political debates that have been taking place for the last 24 hours after that incident has taken place. There are political brickbats that are being thrown at the TMC from the CPIM, from the BJP. So let's take a look at the Prime Minister Narendra Modi's soundbite that he also spoke about in the Rajya Sabha earlier today over this incident.
पहले मैंने बंगाल से आई कुछ तस्वीरों को सोशल मीडिया पे वीडियो देखा। एक महिला को वहां सरेआम सड़क पर पीटा जा रहा, वो बहन चीख रही है, लेकिन वहां खड़े हुए कोई उसकी मदद के लिए नहीं आ रहा है, वीडियो बनाने में लगे हुए हैं। और जो घटना संदेश खली में हुई, जिसकी तस्वीरें रोंगटे खड़े करने वाली है, लेकिन बड़े बड़े दिग्गज मैं सुन रहा हूं कल से, इसके लिए पीड़ा उनके शब्दों में भी नहीं झलक रही है। इससे बड़ा शर्मिंदगी का दुखद चित्र क्या हो सकता है? और जो अपने आप को बहुत बड़े प्रगतिशील नारी नेता मानते हैं, वो भी मुंह पे ताले लगा करके बैठ गए, क्योंकि संबंध उनके राजनीतिक जीवन से जुड़े किसी दल से है या उस राज्य से है, और इसलिए आप महिलाओं पर हो रही पीड़ा को चुपचाप हो जाए।
Joyita, what has happened is unfortunate, but even worse, like I said, was about this TMC MLA from this region supporting this brutal act.
First of all, Megha, the man who is seen flogging the woman, thrashing the woman as she is writhing on the ground, that guy himself is a TMC a local leader. And he is a history sheeter. He has been doing such things for a long time over there. And yes, as it happens, this particular incident took place in a place called Chopra in Uttar Dinajpur district in the northern part of Bengal, which is basically a minority dominated area. So as a result of which, what this MLA, Hamidul MLA, the local MLA, said that in Muslim Rashtra, these things happen. In the Muslim Rashtras have their own set of rules and laws, and what happens is that, but yes, in this case it become a little excessive. But you see, basically do not, poke your nose into something that we Muslims are doing to our women. The whole point is that, you see, you are here, you are the chief minister, it's a lady chief minister, and you are screaming, you and your party are screaming from the top of your voice that we are the most emancipated. Our state is the most emancipated when it comes to women. We are the most empowered. We have sent 11 women MPs out of the 29 we have sent to the Lok Sabha. Out of them, 11 are women MPs. So you see, and these are feisty women, there is no doubt about it. But the fact of the matter is that, is this what emancipation is all about? That you are allowing a section of your population to be basically, the women to be suppressed like this? What we witnessed in Sandesh Khali and now what we are witnessing in Chopra, is this what women's emancipation is all about? Shouldn't the lady chief minister take certain actions? You see, except for putting these people, one man has been arrested apparently, but even then the police is saying that, he cannot be kept confined in a particular jail and all. You are allowing several Sandesh Khali like situations to happen in Bengal. So frankly, I really don't know what women's emancipation these ladies are talking about.
Okay. I am also being joined by Brinda Adige. And Brinda, what is shocking to know is the kind of mentality that is emerging from this incident has to be taken place. There is justification that is being made that because this region is dominated by Muslims, so they are going to handle their issues and they will not adhere to the law and order agencies and the rule of the law. They have their own set of laws, which is then being used as an attack by the political parties in the opposition, talking about how there is quote-unquote Sharia law that is in place in West Bengal, how it is the Talibani rule that is at this point of time in force in Bengal.
Neither India nor Calcutta, for that matter, is a theocratic state. So there is no question of Sharia laws. And that MLA who was flogging the couple, he talks about taking matters into his own hands, saying that is how people in that locality address or violate a woman and her friend or partner or whoever it is. He has no right. The fact that he has been elected is by the constitution, not by any Sharia law or any other theocratic law. We also have to blame now the NHRC has come forward demanding that the DG of police respond to it. What were the police doing and what have they been doing for all these years? Because women seem to have got that kind of a treatment from this man because, like the earlier panelist said, he's a repeat offender. He's a criminal. He is someone who thinks that he can wield the power of his religion and whatever laws his religion talks about. He needs to be told in no uncertain terms that this is part of India, a federal state in India, governed by the constitution, and there is not an inch of space for Sharia law, irrespective of what he might have in his personal house or his beliefs. That said, why is Mamata Banerjee not suspending that man for making these kind of flimsy excuses and statements, saying this went a little too far? This is a criminal offense, not one or two BNS, the new laws, IPC laws of India. There would be several that will be put on them. The couple was flogged in public, beaten and assaulted and threatened, and people around watched. So all of them must be booked together. And this MLA of the TMC must not only be suspended and thrown out of the party, but must be given jail for life. Because all the earlier cases are not going to come. But this man has to be pulled up, not only as a lesson for this fellow, but for others who might assume that their religious laws can be put into place where my constitution is supreme.
Absolutely. Unfortunately, just look at the way that man is thrashing with the kind of force that he's thrashing. It's a miracle that the couple, the woman and the man in question are still alive. Tausif Ahmed Khan, how do you have to react to this, especially because of the defense that is being put by the TMC? There is a TMC MLA who's saying that this is Muslim Rashtra, allow for the people to have their own laws in place which are going to be different from the rule of the land, the law of the land, and let them handle matters in their own way. It's akin to what happens in the Taliban-ruled Afghanistan or any of these Islamic nations.
You see, little knowledge is very dangerous, and that is what is happening with BJP. With all these BJP spokesperson you see on TV, they are sitting in Delhi and they are not aware of the ground reality. the person who was seen allegedly beating up the couple, the woman and the man, on the allegation of having illicit affair on the allegation of adultery, that person has been arrested upon a suo motu case initiated by the West Bengal police. So West Bengal police has taken swift action and arrested this person within 24 hours on a suo motu case. That chapter is, closed. That Mamata Banerjee government and
I think that chapter has now begun. I mean, you are the TMC government, the law and order agencies, the police need to investigate in detail. There must have been several of these incidents that must have been taking place in the past as well, which would have gone unnoticed. Thank God for a video that has been created, it was recorded, it has been put on social media, that this incident has come to surface.
That man is known as a bulldozer.
No,
Yeah.
you are right. You are right that maybe in the past, many such incidents may have happened. You are right. And police is investigating that. And if any such incident come to surface, responsible people will be arrested. Because, as I said, unlike in Gujarat and Uttar Pradesh, unlike in any other BJP ruled state, this is not Bengal's culture. Mob justice, kangaroo court is not Bengal's culture. And therefore,
Which is exactly what has happened. I mean, the videos don't lie. And
yes,
also, Tasif, there is a local MLA who belongs to the TMC who is actually celebrating this event that has taken place. He said what the kangaroo court that was held by the villagers were in the right to have attacked and hit this couple because because according to them, the relationship that the man and the woman had was blasphemous.
See, that MLA may have his own personal view. That's not neither police view and neither the administration view. The law is very clear.
But do you think if an MLA from that region who holds such influence amongst the villagers who are living over there, if he himself is advocating it, if he himself is encouraging people that listen, what you are doing, what you are committing right now, which is a crime, which is criminal, is something that I advocate, something that I encourage, something I feel right about. The villagers themselves will then have the audacity to do this and do this openly.
See, unnecessary. I feel unnecessary. BJP is dragging this issue.
I'm not talking about the BJP. I'm talking about what I have seen in that video. I'm talking about what I have heard from this leader, from the TMC MLA who has spoken about it, and I'm appalled. I'm shocked.
Yes, you and I do a one-to-one conversation. You saw a man beating a couple. I'm asking you a question. Was that man arrested by the police or not?
He was.
He was arrested.
He has been arrested.
So
I'm saying what action is being taken against the TMC MLA? Is there any action that is going to be taken against the TMC MLA? Should he also take moral responsibility for this act?
No. TMC MLA, if he was present in the scene, was he present in the crime scene? Was he seen beating up the couple?
Is this TMC MLA belonging to the region, belonging to that district?
I am asking another question. What is happening in the BJP ruled state? The policemen.
I am not talking about the BJP. Right now, I'm not talking about the BJP. My focus is primarily this incident that has taken place. I'm sorry to say it is appalling. I can't even see it before it is blurred.
It is appalling.
It's sad that such an incident has taken place. Mamata Banerjee needs to take action. It's a good thing that the police have now arrested. The police have now arrested this man, and I hope such an incident does not take place. It seems like an ideology that is being encouraged in this particular part of West Bengal, and that needs to be stopped before it is too late. Joining me also on the telecast is Priyanka Tibrewal. She is the spokesperson of the BJP. Priyanka Tibrewal, whether it is under the TMC rule that this has happened, this could happen across any part of the country. In Uttar Pradesh, Manipur, there was an incident in Manipur of violence where this woman was stripped naked and was paraded on the streets.
I believe my mic.
So
You'll have to unmute me.
So how do we tackle this situation?
Can you hear me?
I can very well hear you, ma'am.
Right. So the thing is, I could just hear Mr. Tausif say that, people sitting in Delhi would not know what is ground reality. Nobody would know the ground reality better than me, Mr. Tausif, because, for each and every issue, every time I've raised my voice, whether it was Sandesh Khali or whether it is the post-poll violence. Now you see, we see, and a few days back, somebody was from TMC was referring to this accused as an animal. So this animal who is misbehaving with the women like this on the street, now he is an habitual offender. And now let me also tell you that why. Because they get this audacity from the government here. The government, a women police minister, Mamata Banerjee, being a woman herself, has not even raised the issue for once. She has been mum over the issue. And we see, the 11 very smart and brave women going to the parliament. They did not have the courage to raise this issue that what is happening in Bengal. But we see them running to Manipur and other states and Uttar Pradesh, and then they will all, get into the water boundary or whatever is happening everywhere else except Bengal. So this has become the culture of Bengal, and it has been malign by nobody else but
Priyanka
the TMC.
Tibrewal, should we now assume, and that's the state of affairs that has deteriorated and come down to, that if there is a state that is being run by the opposition party, is when the BJP is going to attack them and completely negate whatever is happening in a state like Manipur or Uttar Pradesh or any other state where there has been violence that has been reported against women. And the same goes for the TMC or other political parties who are ruling, who are not part of the government of India and are ruling in their states, and they are completely going to ignore what is happening in their states, not going to talk about it in the parliament and outside of it, but then counterattack the government of India and the BJP because you are in power and TMC is not in power at the state, at the center level, and this will go on. Political bickering will go on. How does it resolve the situation?
This is not a bickering from BJP side, and I'll tell you why. Whenever it was an incident of Manipur, we always said, whosoever was the spokesperson always came on the TV and they said, that we do not speak anything in favor of this kind of thing, whatever is happening, and whatever lawlessness is there, that should be answered. All of us have said that. But it was the TMC, and it is the TMC who has always said that the women of Sandesh Khali were lying. They have said that, and they continue saying so. Now, he never said that the women of Manipur or whatever crime has happened in Hathras or Unnao, that it has not happened, a crime has not happened. But TMC regularly said that nothing happened in Sandesh Khali, although in the court of law we have proved that whatever went wrong in Sandesh Khali, that is the reason that the investigation has been handed over to the CBI. So we have never gone wrong on that part that it is, BJP ruled state. So we will say something else. No. All this whataboutery is being done by the TMC and the opposition. We don't see Priyanka Gandhi or Rahul Gandhi running and coming to Bengal. We saw them running to Uttar Pradesh. You should stand for the women's right equally. We don't see Tausif Khan getting so much of fame.
Fair enough. You made your point, ma'am. I'm going to come back to Joyita. Joyita, how do we resolve this? This is going to end in an arrest that has been made of the person who's seen flogging this couple. I don't know anything is going to happen to this TMC MLA. Now there is going to be protests that have been held by the BJP. There is the TMC right now who's defending itself and saying that the law and order agencies have done their job and there is going to be an investigation that is going to happen. And in a few days' time, this matter is going to just disappear from people's minds.
Well, actually, Megha, what's going on, you see, I've been scanning Twitter and I've been going through the television channels and all, many such incidents are coming to light. So the problem is not only that this incident took place, the bigger problem is that many such incidents have been taking place. Now, this actually happens primarily because there is this rule of the musclemen in Bengal, and all these musclemen have their turfs and have their areas carved out where the law of the land does not, writ of the police, writ of the land does not run until and unless an incident like this comes to the forefront and it becomes a national issue. You see, until that time, these small people, I mean, not small, I mean, when you compare them to their situation and how they run, you see, it happened exactly the same. Something similar happened in, say, a place like Sandesh Khali, where there is this guy called Shah Jahan Sheikh and all his acolytes and his sidekicks, all the local what is known as mastans, now these gundas and all, they all have their turfs cut out over there. They all run their writ. The police listens to them, the government does not bother, the party does not really bother about what is going on, because these are the people who get the votes, as a result of which this kind of gundagardi takes place on the ground. So, ultimately I would say the responsibility lies with the government, that these things are allowed to go unchecked. You see, when this Chandeshkhali protests and all, when all of us were talking about it, writing about it, we in the Sunday Guardian had carried a report which said that Chandeshkhali is not the only one. There are several such situations happening in Bengal. But the problem with anybody in the TMC or anybody aligned towards the TMC in Bengal is that, you see, the minute you bring up an issue like that, they will say, look at Gujarat, look at UP, look at what is happening in Haryana. So, you see, what they do is that they always divert their attention.
Yeah.
So, they will not look at what is, the rioting and the violence that is happening right next door. They will all say, they will all look at 1500 kilometers away. But if you ask me, law and order in Bengal is really in a bad shape.
And so have been proved several times in the past 1 week itself. There have been, I don't know how many deaths that have been reported, some 10 to 12 deaths that have been reported because of the violence in various parts of West Bengal, particularly the villages of the state. So, Brinda, do you feel that the government in the state is proactively looking at this in the matter? Another question arises is that why is it that there are multiple reports of violence and killings, murders, such brutalities are emerging out of West Bengal?
I think we have to place on record that patriarchy is galore across India. The high-handedness of people who are in nexus with politicians or politicians themselves is also galore. And we have seen that in every state, and in West Bengal is no different. But what I'm asking is, when you know that a politician elected by the representatives is making these statements which are criminal, telling that in this locality people belong to a certain community and a religion and they will only follow this, that is criminal, absolutely unacceptable. That is what I'm asking that Mamata Banerjee take the matter up and say that this is not what I subscribe to, and reprimand him publicly. He has to apologize. He can't be standing there and telling these things happen, it just got out of hand, which means you're allowing for lawlessness to continue. You have allowed it earlier, you're going to allow it now and say that, yeah, these things just got out of hand. We would have kept it within a certain ambit. That is unacceptable. See, that just goes to show citizens will have no faith and confidence in the agencies that are supposed to protect the citizens, in the agencies that are supposed to extend safety and instill confidence in the citizens.
Yeah.
And that is again unacceptable.
Tausif, how do you have to say to what Brinda Adige said? I think her argument over here is valid, and it needs to be taken up on an immediate basis by the government in West Bengal.
So you see, there is no second opinion about, the law of the land being, effective in each and every corner of the country, regardless of what the criminal offense is. Under the CRPC and IPC also, adultery was a crime till 2018. After 2018 or 19 judgment of the Supreme Court.
Are you justifying the quote-unquote mob justice that has been perpetuated on this couple? It's unbelievable that you're saying you at this point in time are justifying. So simply because, are you saying people were not aware that this is no longer a crime and therefore they are justified in beating this couple up?
Look at the respect he has
I'm giving you a free tutorial about the law.
Such advocates who are trying to show what kind of law exists. It's a matter of
I'm giving you a free tutorial on law. Please hear me. Now,
And if adultery was still a crime,
It was never an offense against a
would
woman.
the people, the villagers,
punishment
the
against
leader
a
of the
woman for
village
adultery.
have been justified
Don't twist
to
the
have
law
beaten
now.
up this couple?
No punishment against woman even in case of adultery. That is the law. Even now, even if now under the new law, the jail term has been reduced from 5 years to 2 years. That is against the
I
man.
don't know why
not
we are
against the
discussing
woman.
about the
So in
legalities
no
and what the
way-
punishment
no way
is.
can
What my
anyone
point
not
over
the
here
question
is
of adultery.
that there's a
It's the
bunch of
question of
people
your
in
MLA
a village
claims that
where they've come out and
No
said
man can
that we
touch a
don't
woman
care
for adultery.
about
It is
the
not an offense.
about the
It
law
may be a
and
ground
order
for divorce,
agencies.
but you
We
cannot
don't
punish the
care
woman.
about the rules and regulations. We don't care
Completely.
about the law. All we care about is that we as a community don't deem fit this couple who is quote unquote having an illicit relationship.
No,
And
illicit
it is
relationship
our
is
set
not
of
an
laws
offense. That's what
and
I'm
our
saying.
set of rules that
Under
are
the-
going
under
to
the
be
Indian
supreme.
penal law,
And if anybody
Adultery
indulges
is
in
not
something
an
like that,
offense. It is an
they will
offense
be
only
beaten, they
against
will
the
be
man,
thrashed,
not
they
against
will
the
be
woman.
whipped, and worse still, they might just be killed.
No, it is not allowed. Even
Completely.
I'm saying under the Indian law, adultery is not an offense against the woman. There is
you
nothing.
I don't
no
know.
way can
I don't
anyone
know
say
where
it's an
Tausif
offense
is
against the
trying to
woman
take this
under the Indian law.
conversation.
And the Indian
You are
law prevails.
digressing from the point.
Indian
You're not
law
getting the
prevails.
point.
That's
You're
what I'm
getting
saying.
into the technicalities of what the law is. Sir, irrespective of whether it is a crime or it is not a crime, whether punishment has to be given to the woman or it has to be given to the man. The question is over here, there is a brutality that has happened. This is in a
Absolutely
village in West
brutality.
Bengal
Yes,
where
I
people
agree.
feel that there is Muslim law. Sharia
No,
law that is applicable
there's no Muslim
because
law.
they are
No criminal law,
greater
there is
than
no Muslim
the
law
law
for
and
criminals,
order.
no.
They are greater
There is
than
no
the
Muslim
rule
law,
of the
it's a
law.
wrong
They are
notion.
greater than the
Wrong notion.
the
There is
laws
no
of the
Muslim
land.
law. Come
Anyway.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.